Now that you know how to navigate around your home screen, it's time to talk about organizing your apps. App is a term for any program that you have on your iPad. App is short for application, and it's really just another word for program. Get used to the term, though. The place you go to find programs, for example, is called the App Store. Some of them are free, some of them you'll pay for, but we'll talk about that in a different lesson. Each app has an icon that lives on your home screen, and you're not stuck with the place where it shows up with when you start your iPad. You can move them wherever you want. I've got a lot of apps on my iPad. You might not have as many, but one of the first things you might want to do is move it to a different spot on the screen. Here's how you do that. To start, find the icon that you want to move and touch it and hold your finger on the screen until suddenly your icons start dancing. I call that the icon dance, and that's the secret to organizing your apps. Once your icons are dancing, what you can do is you can touch one of your icons and notice how it grows a little bit, and now you can actually just physically drag it around your screen. The other icons will move to make room for the icon that you're dragging around. And you can drop it anywhere on the screen. Remember, you've got 20 apps you can show on one screen, and you've got 6 more down in the dock. Adding them to the dock is just as easy. Now, my dock is full. If I wanted to switch out and put a different app in the dock, I would need to actually take one of them off of my dock. So, for example, the calendar, I can just touch, and I can pull it off and drop it on the screen, which leaves me with extra space. And I could take an app and add it down to my dock, and now it would show up on every of my home screens. I don't actually like that down there. I prefer my calendar, so I'm going to get rid of that and move it back. You'll notice that a lot of your apps have a little X on them when they're doing the dance. Those are apps that you've installed yourself and that it's okay for you to delete. Ones without an X are Apple's own apps, and they don't let you delete those. To delete an app, all you actually have to do is touch that X, and then the iPad checks to make sure you really want to do that. When you're ready to actually delete it, touch the delete button, and if you just want to leave it there and change your mind, touch cancel. You can also put your apps on different screens, and once you get more than 20 or 26, you're going to want to start doing that. To move an app to a different screen, it's really quite easy. All you do is touch and hold like you're going to actually move it around the screen, and then just bring your finger over to the edge of the screen. Now be careful not to actually let your finger go off of the iPad screen, because then the iPad thinks you actually stop touching it and you just drop the icon. But once you get kind of close, most of the icons sticking off, notice that the screen scrolls over, and if you go all the way to the right of your screens, now you've got a fresh blank screen to drop it on. If you want to go back and put it on a previous screen, do the same thing just on the left side. And you can actually go through multiple screens fairly quickly to find a spot where you want it to be. If you ever drop an icon onto a screen that's already full, the extra icons at the bottom will flow over onto the next screen for you automatically, so don't worry about where they disappear to. The other trick about organization is that you can actually put multiple apps into a group. Usually the reason people do this is because there are a bunch of apps that have the same kind of purpose and they want to put them all in one place. For example, if you look at my dock, I have an app group for things related to the camera. You can put app groups in the dock or just anywhere on your screen. And creating them is really simple. You start by touching one of the icons when it's doing the icon dance. And instead of moving it around and putting it in a blank spot, just put it on top of another app. And you'll notice that it sort of glows, and then this magic part of the screen slides open, and you can drop the new icon in. And it actually takes the other one too and creates a group. And the iPad is pretty smart about what it names these groups. It knows that both of these are sports apps. But if it was wrong or I wanted a custom name, I could just touch the text field and type in something different using the keyboard. To close the group and do other work, I just touch outside of the group. And if I wanted to add another app to the group, say this ESPN app, all I would have to do is touch, hold, and drag it on top of the group. It's as easy as that. When you're done, all you have to do is press the home button, the physical home button on your iPad, and that stops the icon dance and lets you get back to work. If you ever want to take an icon out of a group that it's in, it's also really easy. Right now my icons aren't dancing, so I'm going to touch and hold my group to start the dance. And then to open up the group, I'm just going to tap it again. And say I didn't want the Sports Center app in there. I would just take it and drag it out of the group. And that's all there is. Those are the secrets to organizing your apps.